Hello, my name is David Disraeli with the Personal CFO here in Austin. Today I want to talk to you about the 7 most common estate planning mistakes that people make and how to avoid them. Take a look. Seven common estate planning mistakes you do not want to make. Mistake number 1, not having a current plan. Not having a will or having one that is out of date can cause problems for your heirs, significant problems. The laws of intestacy, which are created state by state, dictate what happens to your assets and what happens to your children if they're minors. Most wills that I've reviewed over 30 years don't contain correct provisions for minors. Wills must have a trust to capture assets that are left to anyone under the age of 18. Otherwise, the state receives control over the funds, control over who manages the funds, control over who gets the funds and when. The worst part about all this is that when the child reaches the age of 18, they received all the money outright, whether it's $10,000 or $1 million. Problem number 3 is leaving too much money too soon. This could disincentivize somebody from continuing their education or remove motivation. It can cause the dissipation of assets. They could be spent or wasted. It could subject the funds to potential divorce, IRS problems, bankruptcy, and creditors. Creditors like someone who simply ran into one of your heirs in a parking lot and then claims they were injured. Once the money is in a trust, the money is completely protected. Number 4, failure to update a will after divorce or remarriage. At least 50% of marriages end in divorce. If you remarry and you don't update your will, but instead leave all your assets to your new spouse, you no longer have control over what happens when that spouse dies and could literally disinherit your entire family. Number 5, failing to consider other heirs. A lot of times parents need support. If something happens to you prematurely, who's going to continue to support them? You have to have language in your documents that permit this. Otherwise, they're left out in the cold. Many people contribute to various organizations while they're alive, but they don't include those organizations in their will. That's another problem. Problem number 6. Failure to align non-probate assets. Life insurance, employee benefit plans, and joint accounts all pass to beneficiaries that are named. This happens directly and immediately and bypasses your will completely. You can mention these things in your will, but it's going to be ignored. The will cannot reach out and grab non-probate assets. There needs to be alignment. Number 7, no provision for current or future grandchildren. Even if your children are too young to have grandchildren, they may someday. You need to have provisions in your will for heirs of heirs or grandchildren. Otherwise, like we said before, their portion is going to wind up going to the state. And then the state will dictate what happens to the money instead of you. I appreciate you listening. I hope you'll get your plan updated. You can also get consultation.